Hello and welcome to the next episode of Python for Chemical Engineering Calculations. I will continue talking about lists today, and I will start with sorting my lists. Let me introduce a list masses, which will be, let's say, 1, 7, 9, and 4. And if I want to see what it is, right, it's going to print me my list. And now if I want to do masses.sort and print it again, I will get my list in the ascending order. Same I can do not only with numerical lists. If my list is a list of strings, let's say elements, and let me say the elements are H, helium, lithium, and beryllium. And I do elements dot sort, it is gonna sort it for me. Well, obviously it sorted it not in the order I would expect it to be in a periodic table, but it sorted it in the alphabetic order. Also, I can find minimum and maximum elements in my lists. If I do minimum of masses, I'll get 1. If I do minimum of elements, I will get beryllium. Alright, I can do some other manipulations with my list. For example, I can add them. Well, when I say adding lists, it's going to be similar to strings. It's actually going to be concatenation. So let's say I have a list A, which is 1, 2, and 3, and I have a list B, which is 4, 5, and 6. And if I do C equals A plus B, well, C will be the list of all these elements from above. I can actually do adding a list to itself, so I can do C plus equal A. So the new C will be the old C plus also A added in the end of it. Okay, another thing I can do, I can count instances in my list. If I do C count, and then I want to count how many 3s I have in my list. Looks like I have 2 of them. Another thing I can do, I can extend my list. So this is quite similar to appending something in the end, but the difference is that if I do C append, let's say 7, I'm appending just one element, but if I'm extending it, I can extend it with a bunch of elements at the same time. So I do C extend, and then here I need to add this in parentheses, which is going to be tuple. We're not going to be talking about tuple right now, but let's say I'm extending it. Well, if I like 3s, let me extend it with 3s. And now my C is this long list with 4 3s at the end. I can actually remove elements by using a pop function. So if I do C dot pop, it will return me the last element of my list, but it also makes my list one element shorter. So it returns it, but it also removes it. So if I do C pop another time, another time, another time, another time, it will gradually remove the elements at the end. I can actually use the pop at a certain index. I can do C dot pop, and let's say at index 1, and then it returns these elements, but it also removes it from the list. What I can also do, I can do list reverse. So it's gonna flip my list backwards, and this is what I get as a result. Okay, the next thing I want to discuss is indexing and slicing. So indexing is obviously, well, we get C1, we return the element at the index 1, or the element at the index -1, which is the last element, right, of my list C. When I do slicing, I return a bunch of elements with a certain formula. So the syntax looks as follows. I can do C start, this will be the starting index, then stop will be the stop in the end index, and the step is how many elements I go step in. So let me show you how it works, and the example will sort of explain it. So let's say I have my list C, and I want to use, let's say, the slice of the list C from the element at the index 3, which will be this one, to the element at the index 5, which will be this one, with a step 1. So it returns me just these two elements. By the way, if my step is 1, I actually don't need this last thing, so I can just write C from 3 to 5 and it will return me these two elements. Or if I do C, let's say from 3, and then I won't specify the end index and I won't specify the step, it will return me the slice starting from this element to the end of the list, right? So if I want to do it till the end except for the last element, I can do from 3 to -1. Again, I'm not specifying the step here. Let's say I want to use the step and I want to do from 3 to the one before the last, but the step will be 2. So that will return me every other element from this slice, right? So it returns me from the element here till the element here, and then takes every other of them. So the slicing can work in the reverse order as well. So we can, for example, if we do the following, we will get the same list C, but starting from the last element and go into the first one. So it's a flipped, this slicing basically flips your list. If I want to do the same in the reverse order, but with a step 2, I can do that as well. So if I look, again, I'm going to print my C. So starting from the end and then taking every other element here till the beginning, right? What's important about slicing is that slicing doesn't change the list. It creates a separate instance of the list. So for example, if I want to use D equals, let's say, C from element 2 to the end, right? So this is my C, this is my D, right? And then now I want to change something in my D. I say the first element of D, the 0th element of D, should be 10, right? So my D is changed, but if I look back at my C, this element, which used to be 1, it remained 1. So the slice has changed, but the initial original list remained the same.